Good morning and welcome to the Manchester Bury Bolton Canal Society's work party. Today we are trying to clear out the lockhouse, which is to my left, and also the bywash area which sweeps behind me here, behind these trees that we've cut down, to clear this area of the lockhouse so people, as they're walking past down the new towpath, which is to be finished in probably the next couple of months, will get a good idea of what was here. We're coming to a set of stop planks. I'll just cut this out of the way so I can get past. A set of stop planks here in front of me, and this is where the Ringley arm, or the Manchester arm is its correct title, finishes in water, unfortunately. Due to the heavy rainfall we've had, we're getting a bit of leakage through the lock, which will eventually dry back up when the water level drops. This is part of the flood defences that we've put in place. I'll just step round these. So here we have a set of pins for the lock gates. We believe from some of the wood that's been covered up at the moment, underneath here the lock gates, at the bottom of the lock gates are actually still here, a bit rotten, but they are still here according to previous work parties well before my time. As you come down here, these are the last few stones, coping stones remaining of this lock. From reports and paperwork that we've got hold of and read, the lockhouse and these walls were all pushed into the bottom of the lock before it was filled in from the waste product from Fletcher's paper mill. As you can see, we've got our volunteers here behind us clearing what we believe is the old bywash wall. We've got Matthew there, who's regular on our videos. He's found some covers, what we believe are the old York covers that covered the bywash at the top of it, so it wasn't an open dish. We've got a chainsaw operative, as you can hear, quite noisily in the background, felling a couple of trees. And what we're doing is we're piling it all up, ready to either burn or put into natural habitat. We have the Lancashire Wildlife Trust who come down with us, and if we put them into a pile, they tend to do that for us, as in we can get most of it done and down, as I say, pile it up for them. We prefer to turn it into habitat due to the fact that obviously it's better for the wildlife. So where I'm stood here, we believe the culvert is. You can see the back wall here. Unfortunately, a few trees are there, but we're going to try and keep them because there's no reason in taking a large tree like that down unless it's absolutely necessary, and we believe it isn't, but obviously the powers that be will make that decision for us. So the culvert would come here. We believe the lockhouse was in this area as well, just in front of the culvert, according to the OS plans that we've got. And as you follow me down here, you can just see through the brash, this would be roughly where the back end of the lock was. They're about 70, 80 foot long. We have got exact measurements to the inch with Mr. Hindle from OS Maps, but we work roughly in the area just to try and get the area cleared a bit more. So this bywash would carry on round here, through the trees where we've cleared, and to the bottom pound below the lock. As you can see quite clearly, a lot of the trees have been damaged in the time which we've cut down, one, to make the area safe to work in. There are quite a lot of rotten trees, as you see, particularly in this stretch. We have to come in with a team of tree surgeons first to make it safe for the volunteers to work in. So we're quite restricted on where we can work and when we can work. We've moved now to the bottom lock at Ringley, to the bywash area. To my right hand side here, there is a lovely metal fence which has given us an indication of exactly where it was. We started to dig down with spades to uncover it to see exactly what was here. And unfortunately, obviously, the weather's turned a bit wet on us the last couple of days, which has allowed it to fill up with water. To our very left hand side is the main pound, that comes in, which is under, we expect about 2 or 3 foot of soil, which is debris from the trees and stuff that's been washed over the hill. As I walk down here, I'm walking roughly what we expect to be right on top of the coping stones, with the canal being in front of me and I would say the bywash being behind. To my left hand side here is exactly there where the water is running. The water is actually running in the canal line. As I say, we're looking at about 18 inches, 2 foot of soil here, and obviously as it steps down, again, as far as we're concerned, most of the stones have been pushed into the lock area. There's certainly coping stones. We have found a couple of stones under there, so we're hoping most of them are on site. Fletcher's paper mill has filled it all up with their pulp waste before the soil off the natural land of the rain over the 50 years have covered it up.